This is a video to accompany my Paladin tanking guide, specifically on AOE tanking and chain pulling. When you pull, you want to open up with your mark macro so the DPS knows which mob to focus. Use Spirits Within while the mobs are gathering around you. Once they're around you, use Circle of Scorn, and then begin to flash until you're about half mana. Once you're at half mana, you're going to switch to a Fast Blade, Right Blade, Flash rotation. This will allow you to keep your mana up while still producing AOE aggro. Now during all of this, if Spirits Within or Circle of Scorn come off cooldown, use them as soon as possible, and if Mercy Stroke becomes available, be sure to use that. So now that you have the foundation of AOE tanking, let's go ahead and see that in practice. So we're starting in the middle of AK, where you can show a lot of AOE tanking. So right here I'm just shield lobbing all the mobs, going across, skipping that one big monster. And it looks like I missed one of them, sitting at orange, and I appear to be aware of that. So I notice it come into the room, shield lob it, and then we go right into the rotation. There's a flash, a Spirits Within, and some more flashing until about half mana, like I stated earlier. So I'm dropping a little below half, but I'm also setting the pace of the fight, so I'll start building mana as I'm about to leave these mobs. And this is where we get into chain pulling a little bit. Now here's something I don't mention in the guide whatsoever, but once you get into tanking quite often, you'll see that you can just split your Halone combo and produce more DPS rather than just flat threat, because flash does no damage. So you can see I left with about 30% on that mob. I'm pulling more mobs, keeping the pace pretty high in the dungeon. So I gather them all up, there goes the Scorn, and then we're back to the AOE rotation. And there goes a Mercy Stroke. I have that in my Fast Blade macro, so it goes off pretty often. And this is where I start switching over to the Halone split that I will talk about in the guide, and you just have to feel that out. You can see me tabbing between the mobs to check my threat levels, and that's something that's pretty good to do. And time to pull some more mobs. This is my favorite pull of AK. I just pull the entire area pretty much. There's only a little bit of delay here with the statues and the live mobs, so it gets a little tricky. You can see there's a yellow there, and now they're all green, but a flash went off, and they're all on me now. Here's where you want to pay attention to the mob list. I typically target the one with the lowest amount of HP, because most likely it's the one that's about to get pulled by your DPS. You can see I switched to the one with the lowest amount of HP there. Now you'll notice that I dropped below half mana, and that's because this is such a big pool, and I know the next one is just one giant, so I'm more focused on controlling this battle. But here I'm definitely using only Riot combos, that way I have enough mana to last the entire fight, because you can see they're all dropping at about the same rate. So here I notice the mobs are starting to die off, so I stop flashing, but I continue a Riot combo, that way I have enough mana for the next fight. And off I go with enough resources to continue pulling and finish up the dungeon.